And we are live. I was gonna say we are guys. We are. It says it shut down. It said your live stream shut down unexpectedly.
Oh, oh, what is going on?
Okay, so the stream ended. You want to try it again? Want to hit go live again?
So for me, it ended. It says we're streaming.
I don't know that. So yeah, it says we're streaming. We have one viewer, but okay, yeah, I guess we're live now. That was weird. It shut down, and now we're back up. Okay, well, welcome to Real Talk with Heather and Andres, a podcast about honest conversations, personal growth, and the power of sharing your story.
And I'm your host. We're your host. I'm Andres, a creative strategist who believes your perspective can change the game.
And I'm Heather. I am here to bring you honest conversations, real answers, and obviously I'm not good at reading a script.
That is so good. Every week we want to dive into meaningful stories from people just like you because your voice has an impact and your journey matters.
So make sure you guys hit subscribe, settle in, and let's get into some real talk and real conversations.
Let's go.
So Andres, I know we've been off for a couple of weeks now, but this past week you were actually somewhere really exciting, learning great things. You want to dive into that and tell us a little bit about where you were this past week?
Yeah, actually, I had the pleasure to go with one of my good friends, my brother, my partner, Sean. We went over to EXPCon 2025 in Miami. Uh, it was man, it was something else. It was something else. Uh, the energy in that environment, the people around there, the stories being shared, the knowledge being passed down. It was incredible to be around so many great agents, so many great leaders in the industry that are openly sharing what is working for them, that are want to help one another, that are looking at the person next to them and saying, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. Here, take this into your business, implement it, and watch magic happen." So it was great to be in that environment and just take as much as you can in.
Are there
Um,
any golden nuggets or key takeaways that you want to share with us?
yeah, actually, I got my notebook right here. I actually sat down after the last day and kind of wrote down my reflection on the whole event because that's something I've gotten over the past 2 months, right? And we spoke with a couple of months ago uh, about writing your book, writing your stories, and keeping a journal. And I've taken that into heart, and I'm trying as much as I can to build a discipline to write on a daily basis. One key nugget I got to not too long ago is it's really reflected on your monthly and your yearly, right? If you're keeping track of your journal, you can sit down at the end of the year for the last week of the year and look at your journal and see what you accomplished for the year, or what you improve, what things you didn't improve, so that you can take it into next year and say, okay, I'm gonna get better this coming year. Um, but one key thing that pops out of that convention is you got to be bold and be brave. If you have something in mind, something in your business that you want to do as an entrepreneur, just go ahead and do it. You have to take action. No matter what it is you have in mind, you have to take action. That's the number one thing. Um, one of the conference, one of the panelists there, group of ladies, they started their business, their coaching program with nothing on hand. They said, let's just go ahead and do it. They launched a campaign that had people register for a coaching class that they had not put together yet. You know, they were already had about $20,000 involved in it, of people committed to it, and they did not even have the class developed that they were selling. So imagine that. And so many times we're over here procrastinating, looking for perfection, Oh, I need to look a certain way, and I need to have this type of content. I need to be able to put this in front of people. When people that are having success, and this is common throughout the whole conference, people that are having a certain level of success, they all started with nothing ready to go. They simply said, let's do it, start it up, and they make changes along the way to that got them to where they're at today. So be bold, be brave, and take action. That's one of the key things I wrote down on multiple pages. You just got to take action, make this happen. Uh, and there's no single way to doing things, right? There were teams talking there that had different ways of putting their team together. Whether it was building a culture, the culture was the number one thing. Whether it was uh, the individual interaction to identify what a person's needs and see if that team is the best fit for that agent, right? When it comes to agent attraction. Other people were doing a lot of marketing to attract more people into their ecosystem and be able to bring them over. So there's a number of ways to do it. There's not a single way to if you want to attract agent into your ecosystem to do it. But find what works for you and go ahead and do it. Again, it's going to revolve about taking action because all of these people, although they're doing different things that is working for them, it all boils down to taking action. If you have an idea, take action on it. Go ahead and do it. See what happens. If it doesn't work, now you know. You go on to the next thing. If it works, you make improvement. You go along with it. Um, but take action. Take action. Take action. No. And I really like something that came to mind is one of the person said spring Basin. You ever had that idea, that voice in your head that is whispering?
Yeah.
Hmm? And what do you do about
Medicate. No, I'm just kidding.
it?
I'm just kidding. No, I know you have well, I think different people have like different voices in their head, but you have like that idea or that whisper of you can do this, or you have the self doubt, you can't do this, you can't do this. But yeah, I know you're talking about that voice in your head when you're like for a podcast, for example, like we need to do this. The voice in my head is always reminding me of things I need to do that I haven't done and stressing me out.
Yeah. So one of the panelists here, she talks about that, about the voice in her that was always saying, "You need to make this decision. You need to go forward with it." And when she finally did, it was the best thing that happened, right? Another key thing that she mentioned throughout that conversation is, and I wrote this quote down. It's easy. The hardest part isn't living bad to good. It's living good to great, right? And we see it happen time after time. We get to a comfortable point in our life where we are scared of the unknown 'cause we have everything we need. We're satisfied. We're making enough money, and we don't want to take the chance to live in for something that it could be great, but we don't know yet. All right, we are uncertain. Um, and in the same quote, when we know something is bad, we can easily make that transition to something. Okay, this is really not working. Let me try something else. Um, so I thought that was a great point because we've seen it happen time and time again. And I brought this as an example a few weeks back when it happened to me. Working at a warehouse, right? I had an opportunity to get a better position at the company, uh, and I'm glad I didn't get it because it would have put me at a comfortable level, right? And I was already doing great. I had great opportunity in front of me, but having that position would allow me to be okay. This is I'm moving forward, um, but it's not where I needed to be. It was not gonna get me to the goals that I wanted to accomplish, and I'm glad that happened. But I thought it was a great novel because we see it quite often. You know, we see it in real estate where people are closing 10 deals a month. They're at a comfortable levels. They don't want to do more uh, to get more business, or the brokerage, right? They're comfortable there. They're friendly face. They're not. They have questions about moving and uncertainty, so they don't want to take that chance. And we see it in every industry. We get to a comfortable level, and that's it. And another thing is, what if? Along those lines, you ask a question: what if that decision will make me? What if that decision will break you? Right? And it's a question that we ponder a little bit, but you have to look at your long term vision, right? You have to dream big overall. After times we see our dreams that, okay, we want to do as a real estate agent. Want to do 12 transactions for the year. I'm comfortable that's going to generate the income level that I want. No, you got to dream big. Shit, I want to do 35 transactions. I'm going to be 50 transactions. I posted yesterday, as the EXP posted a picture of the top teams in the company so far this year. One of these team members that invited us to see how their team is running, they closed 900 million so far this year.
Oh my God. They're definitely not living in the fear of what if. They're not complacent. And I think that's where a lot of agents get held back, is like you were saying. They don't want to jump. They don't want to take that leap. They're comfortable and they don't want to get outside that comfort zone.
No, shit, I want to be on that freaking list in the next couple of years. That's that's how I see myself. That's how I see the team. We have an opportunity to learn from these people that are around us. They're pouring into us. Um, Take advantage. These people want to help you, and it's so interesting when you're in that room. As someone who's never been in the room, and I can say this from experience before, right? You always had the mindset of. I had the mindset of, oh man, it's gonna be hard talking to these people, right? You feel like going into that room when you have people that are high producing millionaires, billionaires in the room. Uh, what is it going to take to get in that room? Are they going to listen? Are they going to, be able to help, provide some nuggets? And the reality is so much farther off. All the objections are in the head. These people are openly giving you the blueprint on how to be successful. These people are, giving you everything that got into that point from different points, from different angles. And the only question there is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to take what they're giving you and do something about it? Are you going to implement it? And you're going to do the work to get you there? Uh, and oftentimes people don't do it.
Yeah.
And they are afraid to put the work in. They're afraid of, and they're ahead of what's going to happen. And it was great to be there and take all the nugget, because at the end of the day, it boils down to, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to get on that, and I'm going to be on top of that list. I can tell you that right now.
But too, I often see a lot with, not just in real estate and other like sales markets and things like that. People will think that if they change brokerages or they move companies or they do this, that they're going to see this massive explosion in their business. And then they'll make that change. They'll have all the tools at their disposal to get to achieve that greatness that they're wanting. But they do the same thing they did at the other place. They don't implement the changes. They stay in their same pattern of doing things. And so even though they have these tools at their disposal, even though they've changed companies, changed brokerages, they have these new systems in place, they don't use them and they don't see results. And then they blame the the new company that they're with too, and they're like, "Oh, this one's just like the last one. It didn't work. Nothing works for me."
Well, yeah, nothing works for you because you're not doing anything. Even this high producing team, they have a few agents that are not producing to what they're capable of, right? They know they have all the tools, they have all the agents within that team that are producing at a high level, but not everyone has the discipline. Not everyone has the will, the dream as big as others, right? So it all boils down to a personal level. How big are you dreaming, and how much are you pushing yourself to get that done? Because if you're not you're not gonna have the type of result that you want in life. Simple as that. There has to be a level of self commitment in there, right? If you're not willing to put your time to make that happen, you're not gonna get the results, right? And it's not sad because that's just simply how things are, right? Some people just don't have that, and I have people in my life that are like that. I was surrounded by people like that, and I always had this vision of what I wanted to accomplish, what I wanted to do. I've never let that waver, and slowly but surely, it took me some time to weave out of that and find myself now in a place where I have people pushing me towards that dream rather than holding me back. You know, and like I said, you are part of who you surround yourself with. No matter how big the dream you are, if you have people around you that are holding you back, it, it's gonna be tough. That road is gonna be tougher. But one thing that I've seen a number of times is it's not the destination. It's what you who you become in the process. And I love that because I personally have seen a dramatic change over the past 2 years in myself, the things that I've done, the things that I've accomplished, what I have learned, the things that I'm implementing in my life and my business. Um, and I love where this is going. I'm enjoying myself even more. Any obstacle that comes across is an opportunity for me to learn, and I enjoy it even more. Where you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have been like, man, I don't know. I will probably be the first one putting myself down, or uh, not putting myself down completely, but putting more obstacles that they were unnecessary. If that makes
Yeah.
sense, you know. So, but it's fun. It's fun. I think it's a great environment. Anyone that is in the real estate space should definitely check it out because it's impressive.
Now we do have something coming up in November exclusively for cloud realty agents. Let's talk about that and give a little sneak peek at what that is and what's in store for our cloud agents coming up in November.
Yeah, we had the pleasure to partner up with um, a former team leader, bold coach for Keller Williams, who's gonna come in and talk to agents about tapping into the sphere and how to maximize those conversations to generate additional listing in their business, right? Um, Oftentimes, as real estate agents, we become secret agents easily, where people in our sphere doesn't know we are an agent, right? And you see them closing a deal with somebody else. One, because they didn't know that you were an agent, or two, because they just knew somebody else who was an agent, right? Um, so we're putting a 5 day event, 1 hour a day, so we can help our agents tap into the sphere, whether they generated leads through ads before, or they're working with us and generating leads, tap into the spheres, for sale by owner, expired listings, on how to organize, how to have this conversation. We're going to provide them the script, build some momentum so that they can, by the end of the 5 days, they have at least one listing agreement in place. So I think it's going to be great. It's a new partnership. We're going to provide more of this training consistently. We're going to work on the schedule for next year, but um, we want to provide that next week to all the agency involved with Cloud Realty.
No, I think a question too, a lot of people would have would be like, oh, so you're saying I come to this training and I'm going to have a listing at the end of it. Now, this training is the training to show you how to we're not giving them a listing. It's using what you have in place, your tools, and teaching you how to reach out within your sphere, your database for sell by owners, expired listings, and be able to get that listing. Because if somebody, it's kind of like that. If lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. Or if you
Hmm.
give a guy a fish, you can feed him for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, he can fish for life. Same type of thing, right? We're trying to empower agents to be able to, after this 5 days, still be able to go out and get listing after listing after listing after listing. Because let's be honest, one listing, while, hey, that's great to have a listing, if you can't get any more after that, that one listing really doesn't do you any good.
No, exactly. And it's having the foundation to be able to continuously generate more business out of what's accessible to you for free, right? Um, Not everyone offers that. Not every brokerage will teach you how to do those things. And Chris have done that for number of brokers throughout the U.S. In fact, over help broker teams generate over 280 millions. So having access to him and be able to provide that training to our agents, I think is going to be a tremendous value for the agents, so that they can tap into their sphere, tap into the resources that is available to them, and be able to generate more consistent business, right? And have those conversations consistently. Like I said, we can easily become secret agents, and people in our circle uh, don't know, or we don't necessarily know how to have those conversations to be able to generate those listings from there, right? So it's providing them the foundation to consistently be able to generate that business out of the resources they have available.
And just so our listeners know, when we say be a cloud agent, that doesn't mean you have to change brokerages. We partner with agents. They stay with the brokerage that they're with. We partner with them, help them scale and grow. That's what cloud does. And so we're offering this to cloud agents. So if you're like, hey, I want to do the 5 day new listings and or 5 new listings and 5 days trainings, but I don't want to change brokerages. Don't worry, you don't have to change brokerages. Just book with me or Andres, and we can get you guys into cloud. And then you guys can have access to this free training, which is valued at like what, almost $300, right? It's like 297 value.
Yeah, it's valued at 297, but all the audience already within the cloud organization are getting that for free. So yeah, if you're interested, let us know. That's going to be from November 3rd to the 7th, um, at 12 o'clock Central. And again, you don't have to show up to every call. I certainly recommend you be there for every call, but let us know and we'll get you in there.
And I put the QR code at the top here to book with us so you can make an appointment, speak with either myself or Andres, and we'd be happy to go over what cloud is, what it has to offer, how it can help you scale and grow, and definitely how you can sign up in time to take advantage of that. 5 new listings in 5 days. I'm actually super excited about that for our agents that are listening that already are cloud agents. Go into the communities on the left-hand side of your CRM and go into where it says trainings, and you can register there. So you make sure that you get all the information about it and don't miss a thing when it comes to the new training.
Yeah. And on top of that event coming up on next week, we're doing an in person event with Chris here in Huntsville on December, I believe it's December 10th. I will have to confirm that. But we'll have him in house for in person events. So all those agents that have any questions or want to dive into a specific script, we can go over those details during the time, and be kind of a networking opportunity as well. And again, this is open to any agents, any brokerages. But the event next week is exclusively for free for the agents already within Cloud Realty. But again, we can invite other agents in any brokerages. It's not a requirement to switch brokerages. It's just part of the cloud referral business. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a huge value add on. Chris is an incredible guy. I had the pleasure to meet him when we were down in Miami for the conference. It's a fun guy to be around. And but when it's business time, it's business. It's go time. So it's going to be exciting.
No, I like that. I'm excited. Super excited for the in person. Super excited for the training. Excited to bring it to new agents that haven't heard of cloud before. What an awesome way to be introduced into cloud, to have access to this training immediately. So
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a game changer. It's a game changer. So another thing I wanted to talk, if I can go back to the conference, one of the broker mentioned, uh, it's really balanced, standardized systems, right? Uh, and personalized learning. As a team, as a broker, and I think it's something that you and I have been working on putting together through the community as well. Um, Putting the system in place, this personalized learning for agents that are coming through are able to obtain even more value from all the training that you have put together in the community. So I saw agents that are teams that are closing $300 million a year. One of the key components on that is having those systems, those training opportunities. Um, and it brought me back to what you have put together, Heather, in our community. Uh, so we are well on our way to have a team later on to be producing 300, $400 million. Like I said, I could definitely see us down the road being on top of the list of teams producing, top producing team in the nation. So, and we already have nuggets, different things in place that are going to help all these agents be on top of their game. So I'm excited for what's ahead because we see a lot of these things in place. We are putting it together. It's just a matter of fine tuning these details and having the agents be productive and close as many deals as they can. So we got to dream big, right?
yep, big dreams.
Absolutely. So, and then I wanted to talk about. I know we took a week off, 2 weeks off,
Hmm.
and over the next month or two, with the holidays coming, we're looking at, um, taking a break for the Thanksgiving week on November 25th and 27th, and then the last 2 weeks out of the year, right? December 22nd to January 2nd, and coming back on January 6th. For any listeners out there, we'll post that on the website as well. Just be mindful that we'll be off those 3 weeks with the holiday season. Um, with the kids being out, we want to enjoy some quality time with the kids as well.
I think it's important for everybody, especially around the holiday season, to take a break, step back, be with your family, enjoy the time, and then hit the new year with the ground running. Hit the ground the new year running. Oh, okay, I just butchered that all the way around, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. Hit the ground running. Hit the ground running. There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy how fast the year went by, huh?
It really is. I can't believe that the year is like almost gone. I was just thinking about that. I was like, where did the year go? Where did it go? Because I don't remember this past year going by this quickly before, but it did. So, I mean, time flies when you're working hard, I guess.
Yeah, well, we just started doing the podcast in July. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
This week of July, we say, "Oh, let's do a podcast," and here we are. A few months later, going into half a year, and excited for the year ahead. Before the year ends, we still have Il Cup coming up. We're gonna have a couple of guests coming on board. I want to have one or two agents on board from different markets to see how they're doing. Um, Try to get Sean in here again so we can dive into specifically more things and see what we can do about getting Chris on here as well. That'd be great. So, so we're putting a couple of events before the year ends, and then going into 2026. Want to increase, of course, the number of subscribers. So, if you're listening, subscribe to the channels, get updates as soon as the new episode gets launched, um, and we can continue to improve and put better content out here for you guys.
Yep. Sounds good to me. And I mean, as we're sitting here doing this, I'm even thinking about like maybe we could do a special podcast event, go live from the in-person event in December and have that be something that we could share on the podcast. I think that would be pretty awesome. I don't know what day it is, but we can, definitely see if we can make that work.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great. That would be great. So that's nice. In December, I might be going to Dallas for a Christmas party on my wife's job. So want to meet up with one of our guests that we had here recently. So I'm gonna reach out to her. We can meet up while I'm there for a day. So it'll be great to be able to make that happen. It's something that I had in mind every time we have a guest here. If they're not from if they're from out of state, then be able to meet them personally and connect with them there. So
Awesome.
that'll be fun.
Yep. No, that sounds good. Well, before we wrap up today, any more last minute things you want to let us know about the conference or any parting words of wisdom?
Just really, just be bold, make a move. I think that's the biggest thing I take from there. Be bold, be brave, and take action. That resonated with me a number of times because we tend to be our biggest obstacle. You know, don't worry about things being perfect. Don't worry about having everything lined up. In some cases, don't even worry about having the product that you're selling on hand. Sell it. Be bold. Make it happen. Take action. Everything else, you make it happen. I've seen a number of times. You build the plane on the flybover. Don't build it before you take off. You just go and you put the plane together on your way there. So just take action.
Take action. I like that.
So yeah, that is it for me for today. And man, I look forward for Thursday, and I'm excited for what's ahead.
I froze for a second, but I'm back. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
That was frozen. I am back. Well, guys, thanks for listening to Real Talk with Heather Andres.
And I lost your volume.
Yep. And if today's episode resonated with you, can you hear me, Andres? Am I frozen again?
Nope. Yeah, I cannot hear anything.
You cannot hear me? Well, okay. Well, Andres can't hear us, but I'm here, guys, still. So if today's episode resonated with you, make sure you subscribe, join our community. You can follow us at www.realtalkha.live. Make sure you join our community so you get access to Cloud Connect and Cloud, and we can give you all of those benefits that we talked about today. Thanks for listening.